Hi Aries, welcome to your June 2018 reading. The spread we have in front of us is a Celtic Cross. It's usually a 10 card spread, but you did get some extra cards. You have an extra card in the challenge position and also in the environment position. And then I also generally pull one oracle card, but two came out for you there as well. At first glance, I kind of see two different situations going on, but we'll see if they do tie in together as we go along. So let's start with your main situation. We have the Two of Pentacles. So the obvious thing that you might see looking at this card is it could be you're juggling finances. That's definitely a typical definition that's assigned to this card. It certainly could be that, but it could be juggling any two things. It could be juggling, you have two different jobs, let's say, maybe even two different job offers. Could be two relationships. Could be trying to juggle your financial life with your relationship life. There's definitely a bunch of different angles that could come from. I do tend to feel that this is financial struggle though, and we'll kind of go into why that's the case as we go along. In your challenge position, you had two cards that came up in reverse. You had the King of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. So let's take a look at them in the upright. These two cards together, this is typically my Aquarius card. The pages I don't generally see as an actual zodiac sign. If it was, it could be an earth sign you're dealing with. So if it's two different people, you could be dealing with two people that are helping contribute to these financial difficulties you're dealing with. I see it more as probably this King of Swords in the reverse, which again, it's generally Aquarius, could be any air sign though. I feel like they could have given you an offer that fell through. So they made an offer, but given that that was also in reverse, it wasn't all it was cracked up to be. It could be out and out deception from them. It could be a financial advisor you're dealing with, a lawyer, it could be anyone. So if it is relationship situations, let's say you're dealing with a divorce and that's why you have that juggling going on there. Either your lawyer might not be telling you everything, or the lawyer you're dealing with could be doing something shady regarding finances. If it's a business partner, it could also be that they might be hiding something from you as far as finances go, and I'll get into why I feel that's the case as we go along. But in the foundation, we do have the Two of Cups. So a lot of times this is viewed as a relationship card, particularly the start of a new relationship. Some take it a step further to view it as a soulmate connection. I view it more as it's really just the beginning stages of a relationship. But it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, especially with some of the surrounding cards. It could have been you went into business with a friend, let's say, maybe that Aquarius person or air sign person. Could have been your spouse. Maybe you guys went into business together. But that's kind of the vibe I'm picking up there. It could be romance, though, definitely considering that in the past position we do have the Ten of Cups. So that's why I feel like, again, this could also be tied into possible divorce that you're going through, or just some kind of breakup in general where now you're having to deal with getting your finances back on track. But there definitely seems to have been some dishonesty there. The good thing, the underlying energy is, I forgot if I mentioned that in the beginning, you do have the Nine of Wands there, which shows that your defenses are up right now. But it's also a card of great strength, so I feel you will be able to fend this off, whatever the issue may be. And in the present position, you have the Emperor, which is the actual major arcana for Aries, if you don't know. So that's a great card to get in this position. And you're in the upright compared to that air sign. So, and being major arcana, I feel like you would have the upper hand here in this situation. But you still need to be cautious. And the reason I say that is in the near future position, we have the Seven of Swords. This is often seen as a card of deception, and rightfully so. but it could go multiple ways. Sometimes it could be self-deception. When I look at this card, I think about the two swords we see there, and then he's walking away with the five. So if this were a romantic relationship, let's say, this would signify to me someone who's cheating, but looking back, knowing that, you know what, at the end of the day, I know I still have this relationship to come back to no matter what happens. If it's finances, going back to what I was seeing there as well, it could be if you're in a business partnership, which that could be what's going on with these cards. They're trying to tell you, oh no, we only made this much money, so they're taking way more of a cut than they should. You guys should be splitting it down the middle, and they're taking way more and telling you, oh yeah, this is all we had. So there definitely could be something weird going on there with the finances. And again, it could even be you. Thing I always tell people is if you think about it, if you look at the way they're carrying those swords, though, they're going to end up hurting themselves in the long run. So whoever it is, whether it's you or them, I'm really getting the feeling it's someone else. It's going to come back to bite them. In the position of your influence on the situation, we have the Seven of Cups. So to me, this says you're not seeing something clearly. So even though you're in your power there, and the Emperor in your present position, and you have your Nine of Wands, I still feel that there's something that you're not seeing quite clearly. I definitely don't think that you're imagining deception, that's for sure, if you are seeing deception, but make sure you're not deceiving yourself, again, going back to that, because this is a card that's kind of a Neptunian energy, so could be you're not seeing things clearly. Currently, Neptune is transiting your 12th house, so it certainly could lead to some not self-deception per se, but again, not seeing things exactly the way they are. In the position of the environment's influence, we have the Six of Swords, which is technically another Aquarius card, much like that Seven of Swords is. And then we have the King of Wands. What I'm kind of thinking is that this is someone else. It could very well be you, though, obviously. This is usually my Leo card, but it could easily be you as well as an Aries or another fire sign, especially if you're an Aries male. But what I'm seeing here is either someone else is going to help you get out of this situation, or possibly get that, if it is an Aquarius or whatever air sign, get them out of the picture to help you out. I definitely see that this is a helpful influence, though. So I don't think that they're in cahoots with this person, for example, by any means. I think that whoever this is someone who's going to help you out in some way, help you get out of this situation, or again, get them out of the situation. In your hopes or fears position, you have the Tower. Most people don't hope for the Tower. I'm not going to completely rule that out, so it's probably a fear of yours. But what I would say is the important thing to realize with the Tower, you look at this, it's more or less the image of a bolt of lightning, and it's wrecking this tower. So to me, I think of that as lightning bolts are sometimes seen as divine intervention in the tarot. So it's saying that whatever's done here, it's only going to do damage to something that wasn't stable to begin with. You know, if you think about it, if lightning strikes this tower, should it really destroy it? Or if it were built well, would it just, go under the radar unnoticed? So if it is you that's being deceptive, again, like I said, I'm not getting that vibe here, but you always have to lend that possibility. I mean, there's good and bad in every sign. You could just be fearing that whatever deception you are putting forward is going to be exposed, and this is what's going to happen. And that's why I said not everyone would hope for the Tower, but it could even be that you're just feeling so confused and turned around by everything that you're almost hoping for a Tower situation at this point. Like, you know what, I just want everything to come out and for this to come to an end. In your outcome position, you have the Page of Swords. So I don't see this as, again, tied to that air sign. Well, as far as it being the same person, let's say. What I see this as is some kind of message that you get. So it could be regarding the situation. That's definitely a possibility. And if so, given that it's in the upright, I think it will be honest communication. So you do have that going for you. And one of the oracle cards I'm looking at certainly seems to tie in with it being some kind of message you receive. So moving on to that, let's take a look at your two oracle cards. We have Message in a Bottle, and that's number 15 in this deck. This is the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, by the way, by Colette Baron Reed. And the other card you got is Time to Go, number 45. So I can certainly see both of these coming into play. But what I do with this deck, I think the messages are awesome. They cover a bunch of different scenarios, so I actually read the messages directly from the booklet. So we'll start with the Message in a Bottle first. Let me get the book ready. All right. It says essential meanings: communication, a sign, a Clayton, the ancient name for a spontaneous oracle delivered innocently by the speaker, pointing the way to your highest good. And it says the oracle's message: Spirit sends you signs when you ask for them, when you believe you will receive them, and when you allow yourself to become fluent in the language of symbols, oracles, and omens. They may come to you as a bird flying by, a logo on a truck, and a song on the radio. Expect confirmation that you're pointed in the right direction. Keep your ears open, for someone might say just the right thing that will give you the answer to your query. Today, your message is this: Spirit hears you, and the reply is favorable. So, before we move on to the next message, that definitely seems to tie in with the Page of Swords. I'm not surprised. Like we said, it is Message in a Bottle. But it could be this: if this isn't you and it's another person, it could very well be another fire sign in your circle that comes along with some kind of news that helps you expose what's going on, or it could just be even a friend that gives you advice. Maybe they're seeing it more clearly than you because you have this in your position of self, so you just might not be seeing things clearly, and someone on the outside looking in may see it. Uh, let's see, relationship message. So for those of you where if this is tied into a relationship, if it is, it could be a divorce, like I said, or it could just be a split up, maybe even temporary. We'll see. But relationship message, it says you can expect someone to favor you with positive news. This could be in the form of a letter, phone call, or email. You are the intended receiver of this message, so stay open to what you learn. Only good will come of it in the end. The signs are all there. So I don't know if I see that as much with this spread, but it's possible given that you have the Two of Cups there. It might even be that you are going through this relationship ending, and then maybe this fire sign comes in and you start something new with them. It's certainly not out of the realm of possibility. You would know if that applies to you or not. Prosperity message: you are on target with your purpose and your passion. You are coming into alignment with your destiny, and Spirit wants you to know that you're on the right track. Expect a call, a new opportunity, or a message from an old friend or business contact that will lead you closer to your dreams and greatest desires. Spirit has been listening to you. Another great message there that certainly could play into this reading easily, as far as, again, if this message and the outcome could be from this fire sign. Maybe it's someone you've known from the past. Maybe that's what's being shown in these cards. Could be someone you were in business with before, or someone you discussed going into business with before that gives you a concrete offer. That's certainly possible. If it is someone new or a new offer, rather, even if it is someone you've known from the past, I don't think that they're the ones that are causing the deception there. I think it's more that it's freeing you from a situation where there's already deception. So I would trust if a new offer comes along in the near future. All right, and next let's take a look at the message for Time to Go. just looking at that, I could clearly see how this could tie into the reading as well. So I think it's very much intentional that both of those cards came out. But let's look at the book for that. All right. Time to go. Essential meanings: endings, completion, walking away from something because there is nothing else to learn or experience. The Oracle's message: you are at the end of one journey and have not yet begun the next. This is the moment to bless your experience thus far. Take stock of what you've learned. It's time to move on to new experiences and a new way of being. There is nothing left for you to do, be, or experience in your present circumstances. Take the risk and move on, even if you need to be in transition for a time. Your destiny is calling you. So let's say that this is something that has already dissolved, and now you feel like you have so many options in front of you. Maybe that's what this card is trying to say. If that's the case, take a little time and really just definitely think it over, but what you feel in your gut, eventually make a move there, and you'll probably be on the right path. All right, now relationship message. It's over, or at the very least, the form this relationship has taken is no longer of service to you or the other person. This is a time of letting go, of knowing that the journey has come to its conclusion. That doesn't mean anything is lost. Although this card could speak to a breakup, drifting apart, or the end of a soul contract, it is more about release than destruction. Remember the saying, if you love something, let it go. If it comes back, it's yours. If not, it never was. Endings are always a sign of new beginnings. If you want something deeper, walk away. I mean, we don't need to repeat ourselves again. I could clearly see how that would tie into this reading as well. And lastly, we have a prosperity message. It says, this message is clear. The path you've been on with your work, creative projects, and business alliances have come to an end. You will not find the success you desire by continuing with what is now in front of you. This is an auspicious sign because there is no choice that will benefit you other than risking stepping into the unknown. It is time to walk toward something new. This card also pertains to the more neutral concept of completion. You finished your task and can rest assured that this ending will open up a powerful new avenue of opportunity, even better than any you can imagine. You have done all you can, now trust that Spirit keeps the plan moving forward. Fortune requires you to conclude this chapter of your life, and remember that when you close one door, another opens. So to wrap this up, I would also point out that you do have Uranus that just moved into your second house, which is a finance house. So that could certainly point to any financial shakeups you might be going through. And then in your eighth house of Scorpio, you have Jupiter there, but it's currently in retrograde. So that could be in play as well. It's going backwards to show you some things you might have missed, some deception regarding financial dealings with others. So those two things would certainly tie in together well. But again, I mean, with these messages from the Oracle and the overall vibe here, I do feel, especially if you're pursuing something new, you'll be on the right path. And if you're leaving something behind, it looks like it's for the best. All right. I don't think there's any other messages that are coming to mind right now. So we'll wrap up here. Good luck, guys, and I'll talk to you next month.